Yes, people were outside the San Mames Stadium. Man United have lost in the Europa League final against Spurs. And look, I can't lie, that was embarrassing, man. What was that performance? I remember one or two chances, Luke Shaw towards the end there, I think it was, with a header that was well saved by the keeper. Ahmad Diallo in the first half. Apart from that, I can't remember much, and it was an embarrassing display by most of the players out there on the pitch. The only one that I could think came out of there with and would be able to hold his head high was Lenny Yoro. I thought he did well in the game. He obviously had that frustrating moment just before the final whistle where he has a shot when he probably doesn't need to, but outside of that, I can't see him putting a foot wrong. But everybody else on that pitch today was embarrassing. Jay, what do you make of that?
I completely agree with you. I honestly, I was so confident going into that game. I thought if our players turn up, then we've got too much for them, and yet we didn't turn up. I thought Casemiro wasn't really high. Bruno probably had one of his worst games he's had in a long while, and you need him to step up. And like Macca said, like you said, sorry, there's no, I think Garnacho, when he came on, he created something. I think he had a shot that was saved, and I was a bit annoyed with Amorim because I'm not putting this all on him, but waiting to the 70th minute to make changes.
Later than that?
Was it that when it was later than that? Hoyland wasn't in the game. Mount wasn't in the game. Kobe Mainoo's got 10 seconds of normal time. Like, it's not good enough. You have to make changes. You could see it wasn't working. We weren't creating anything. If you're creating chances, you think, okay, it's coming. But it wasn't, and he just waited until it was far too long, and then you've got people snatching at things because they're sort of desperate to do something. He should have been bolder and made changes at half-time or 50, 55 minutes at best. But to leave it that late, it's not all on the manager. Players have got to take a long hard look at themselves, and I think we've got so many areas we need to improve on now. The sort of frustrating thing about tonight is we need a massive spending spree, and because we're not in the Champions League, we're probably not going to have it. And when you've got players like Lenny Yoro, when you've got players like Ahmad, when you've got players like Kobe and one or two others, you think the future will be bright. But this next couple of years, I really do worry for Manchester United because we are so poor, and it's going to take a long time to fix the problems there. It really is. And tonight was showing us that.
So many of them were just crap today as well. Like, look, I've had enough of the goalkeeper. I think he's useless. Get rid of him ASAP. The number 9 or whatever the fuck he is, get rid of him ASAP. I think everyone said everything about him that can be said. And usually I'm not one to go in like that on players. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. And that's why I agree with you. Like, what is the manager doing? It's the first time I've doubted Ruben Amorim today.
I understand it, bro.
And look, there's a lot of reasons why we should have probably doubted him before, could have doubted him before. But today, we sat there watching fucking Rasmus Højlund do fuck all game. We saw Onana. Look, you can't change the keeper, but Onana, man, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's got to save that. I think he goes down as a Luke Shaw own goal. But he's got to save that. You cannot be letting that creep in the near post. It went so slow as well. And this isn't bitterness yet. I don't really care about Spurs. Like, with all due, like, I don't have a rivalry with them. I don't really look out for them. I don't mind them beating Arsenal and all those kind of things. But they weren't even good today.
No, they weren't.
They weren't good today. The first half was a proper 0-0. And somehow they come out on top 1-0. And the second half, they just went, all right, these lot are shit. They're probably not going to score. Let's sit in and try and hit them on the counter-attack. And they looked like scoring the most when I think Dominic Solanke ran away on the counter. It was an abysmal performance by Man United. Just depressing, man. And even the players that you expect to stand up. Look, I don't think Casemiro could have done much else. Like, he's a defensive midfielder. I don't think it was that bad. Maybe he could have did a little bit more in attack, but we're asking a lot of him. Bruno today, man. That was a stinky performance from Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes gets his critics, and I never understand it. He's a phenomenal player, but you need big players to turn up in big games. That's one of the criticisms I've had with some of the players in the past. When I've gone to, you've seen finals in the past, like 2018 against Villarreal, where big players didn't turn up. And I thought tonight would have been Bruno Fernandes' night. He's won the League Cup, he's won the FA Cup. This would have been a nice little, hat trick of trophies for him in the 3 years, and he deserves that. But he wasn't good. He wasn't good at all. And you look at other players that have got experience. Players like Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, and even Mason Mount's got experience. Casemiro's got experience. Onana, that's his third European final, isn't it?
He's lost all of them, though.
Yeah. And
idiot.
Like, they've all got experience. You need them to step up, and they were okay at best. That's not good enough for a European final. You need players who are going to show a bit of leadership, show a bit of something. And Spurs, yes, they were frustrating, they were running the clock down, they were wasting time, but they knew what they were doing. They got the goal, and they knew that, you know what, we can just waste time, we can let United have the ball when they need to have the ball. They're not going to do anything. And there's no real threat there from United. Ahmad does his best, he tries hard, but you need more than that. You need more than Ahmad and Garnacho and off Bruno. we need to desperately bring in someone who's got a bit of something about them up front. Xerxes did okay when he come on, but he's not an out-and-out goal scorer, is he? He's not going to get you those goals that you need. And it's telling. I just don't think there's a confidence in his team. Talking about Rasmus Højlund's got no confidence. I don't think he's
not good enough.
He's not good. I don't think he's good enough.
I don't think it's about confidence anymore or anything like that. He's just not good enough.
I get that. But you need players that can inspire confidence. Players that when they come on, you go, when Zlatan came into the football club, people look for him when they've got a pass on. You go, let's give it to Zlatan. The fans are up there. We were singing his name today, years after he's left the club. He's got a bit of an aura about him, as the kids say. We haven't got enough players like that. And you don't get them cheap. That's the big worry. This is a massive wake-up call, Manchester United. And I think this is going to be a long sort of 3 or 4 years till we get back, not even winning titles and stuff like that, just getting back to the top 6 or 7 in the table, because I think we're miles off it. We lost to a very poor team today. And like Macca said, I'm not being bitter, I'm being honest. Spurs weren't great, but they got a win because they got a goal. And unfortunately, against Manchester United more often than not, especially against Premier League Manchester United, it was a Premier League team, even though it's a European trophy, one goal is all it takes because we haven't got goals in us. So there's a lot of issues there. I worry about Ruben Amorim's future because he's going to be under pressure next season. I worry about his mental state. I don't even know if he's going to be wanting to stick around much longer if it carries on like this. And I just worry about the future of this football club, the immediate future. Listen, we've been through worse than losing a Europa League final. I'm not saying Manchester United won't survive this or anything equally as stupid as that. What I'm saying is I worry about the immediate future of this club because we haven't got money to spend. We need a load of players. And at the minute, the squad of players we've got and the manager, there's big question marks. It just is.
Massive. And the frustrating thing here is today, when we made the changes, we actually looked like we fucking we looked a little, I'm not going to say we were going to score because we didn't never ever look like that really, but we looked a little bit more threatening. Xerxes was holding the ball up a little bit more. Garnacho had a shot straight away, brought a save out of the goalkeeper. Like, we looked a little bit more threatening, but yet the manager sat there waiting and waiting. And I understand the Xerxes one, he's been injured. Maybe you can't come on for more than 15 minutes. But Jesus Christ, make a change earlier than that. There's so many players on the bench. Kobbie Mainoo, like you said, he gets 10 seconds of normal time. He scored a fucking winner for us in the last cup final we played in. How is he not on the pitch? How is he not on I just didn't get it. I didn't get it today at all.
I didn't get it. I could get it if we were creating chances and the goalkeeper's having loads of saves to make. You think, okay, it's working, let's not change things. But nothing was working. We weren't really creating. Spurs looked quite happy and settled and were just like going through the motions almost in second gear at times. You think, do something. And you said it before the game, Mackie. You turned to me and said, actually, our bench looks all right. We've got a few options on there. Use them, man. You've got to be an active manager. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson did. When he needed to make changes, he knew when to make them. And I feel like Ruben Amorim waited a little bit too long. Two things happened today. We waited a little bit too long with the substitutions, and the players that started just weren't good enough. And that is one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. Spurs celebrating, beating Manchester United in a cup final. We've actually lost to Spurs 4 times in a season, and we've lost the cup finals to them. We've Spurs. And we can't even say, lads, it's Tottenham anymore. People are going to be saying, lads, it's Man United at this rate.
Lads, it is Man United. And I think we got to recognise we're fucking shockingly bad. Even the good players today, Bruno, Ahmad, none of them turned up, man. And, I'm so sick of the keeper and the striker, seriously. And that England left back, whatever the fuck his name is, get rid of him as well, Sharpish. Anana, get rid of him. Højlund, get rid of him. Is there anyone else? Fucking hell, Lindelof, Eriksson, they're going to go. Who else is going to go? Johnny Evans is off, Tom Eaton's off. Fucking, you probably Sancho, Anthony, Rashford's all off. We're only going to have a squad next season, and we're only going to have 38 games plus the cup competition to play now. We got no Europe next year. That's mental. That might actually be a good thing.
Not having Europe might be a good thing. It might help us a little bit.
Just play the kids then.
Get back to basics. It's going to be horrible at that Villa game, but give a few kids a debut. Look towards next season. And I think that about all it is about now is getting some of these younger players through, getting 1 or 2 decent players in, and just building slowly, because it's going to take ages to fix this mess at Manchester United. It really is.
And listen to that shot. And like you just said, that game against Villa is going to be horrible, man. That's going to be horrible. Fucking hell. See you in a bit.